Marcus Reed had grown accustomed to the laughter. It followed him through the corridors of the salvage station like a shadow, echoing off the metallic walls whenever he passed a group of Zelthari workers or Krovorian merchants. The tall, crystalline Zelthari would click their mandibles in what passed for their species' version of mockery, while the hulking Krovorians simply sneered, their 4 eyes gleaming with contempt. "Look, the soft skin walks," one would say. "How does your kind even survive without proper exoskeletons? Or natural weapons," another would add. "No claws, no venom, no armored plates, just fragile pink flesh." Marcus kept his head down and continued his work. As the only human on Outpost Zeta 7, he had little choice but to endure. Humanity was new to the galactic community, barely a century since first contact, and humans were considered the weaklings of the spacefaring races. Too slow, too weak, too soft. The galaxy's natural victims. But Marcus needed the credits. His family back on Earth depended on the money he sent home from his salvage work, so he swallowed his pride and accepted another assignment that no one else wanted: cataloging the here. Contents of a derelict vessel found drifting in the void sector. The ship was ancient, older than any civilization's records could account for. Its hull bore no markings, no identification, nothing that matched any known species design. When Marcus's shuttle docked with the ghost ship, the airlock groaned, open like the mouth of a tomb that had been sealed for millennia. Inside, the darkness was absolute. Marcus's helmet lamp cut through the void, illuminating corridors that seemed to stretch into infinity. The ship's architecture was bizarre, with angles that hurt to look at and proportions that seemed wrong in ways his mind struggled to process. He documented everything meticulously, his suit's sensors recording data that would be analyzed by xenoarchaeologists who would never give him credit for the discovery. 3 hours into his exploration, Marcus found the chamber. It was vast, circular with walls covered in symbols that seemed to writhe in his lamp's light. At the center stood a platform, and on that platform rested a suit of armor unlike anything Marcus had ever seen. It wasn't bulky like Krovorian battle suits, or geometric like Zelthari combat shells. Instead, it seemed almost organic, flowing, like liquid metal frozen in time, with surfaces that shifted between colors his eyes couldn't quite name. Marcus approached cautiously. His hand trembled as he reached out to touch it. The moment his fingers made contact, the armor responded. It flowed like quicksilver, rushing up his arm, across his chest, consuming him in seconds. Marcus screamed, but the sound died in his throat as the armor sealed around his head. Then, silence. Then, understanding. The armor wasn't just protection, it was a legacy. Images flooded Marcus's mind, a civilization that had spanned galaxies, beings of pure energy who had walked between stars, warriors who had held back the darkness at the edge of reality itself. They called themselves the progenitors, and they had seeded life throughout the cosmos before vanishing into myth. But before they left, they had created one final gift: a test, a trial that would wait across eons until someone worthy found it. The armor had been waiting for a species with potential, with that rare combination of fragility and ferocity, weakness and will. It had been waiting for humanity. The armor taught Marcus everything in that instant. Combat techniques refined over billions of years. Technologies that made current galactic civilization look like children playing with sticks. The power to manipulate matter at the molecular level, to move faster than thought, to survive in the heart of a star or the void of deep space. When Marcus returned to Outpost Zeta 7, he was different. The armor had retracted beneath his skin, invisible but always present, waiting to be called. He walked through the station with new confidence, his posture straight, his eyes forward. The Krovorians noticed first. 3 of them blocked his path, in the marketplace as they had done countless times before, ready to shove the weak human aside and laugh at his stumbling. "Out of the way, soft skin," the largest one growled, raising a massive clawed hand. Marcus didn't move. "No." The Krovorian blinked in surprise. Humans didn't refuse. Humans didn't stand their ground. The alien's hand shot forward, claws extended, aiming to rake across Marcus's face and teach him his place. The armor responded before Marcus even thought to call it. It materialized in a flash of light that seemed to exist in colors beyond the normal spectrum. The Kravorian's claws shattered against Marcus's chest plate like glass against diamond. The alien stumbled back, roaring in pain and confusion. "What are you?" the Kravorian demanded. Marcus considered the question. Around them, the marketplace had gone silent. Zelthari, Kravorians, species from a dozen different worlds, all watching, all waiting. He could feel the armor's power thrumming through him, ancient and terrible and his to command. "I'm human," Marcus said simply, "and humanity is done being mocked." He walked forward, and the crowd parted like water before him. Behind him, whispers spread like wildfire through the station. The soft skin had changed. The weak one had found something in the dark between the stars, something that recognized in humanity what the rest of the galaxy had missed. Humans weren't the strongest or the fastest or the most naturally armed, but they were adaptable. They were determined. They were survivors who refused to quit even when the universe itself seemed arrayed against them. And sometimes, just sometimes, that was exactly what ancient powers had been waiting for. As Marcus reached his quarters, he couldn't help but smile. Tomorrow, he would contact Earth. Humanity deserved to know that in the vast archives of the cosmos, scattered across 1,000,000 dead worlds and forgotten starships, the progenitors had left more gifts, more armor, more weapons, more tools that would respond only to those with the courage to seek them and the will to use them. The age of humanity being mocked was ending. A new age was beginning, and the galaxy wasn't ready for what was coming.